Welcome to the Ashley Coley Show, giving you information that you want to know on Heartbeat Radio for Women. The Ashley Coley Show will always deliver to you senior level guests, celebrity guests that will give you the hottest information on today's topics. Today we have Nick Parker from Fox News. He's a Fox News fitness expert and company founder of Lean Body Fitness Boot Camp, and has helped thousands of people transform their bodies and their health. He's a nationally certified fitness expert who's responsible for educating and certifying hundreds of personal trainers and fitness professionals. Ladies, when we come back, you are going to have a great day because he is going to give you all the information you need to know to how to get back in shape, get fit, feel good, eat well, and especially for those moms on the go. Stay tuned and stay with us. And when we come back, we get to talk to Nick Parker. Welcome back to the show. This is Ashley Kay to brighten your day. If you've just tuned in, we have got Nick Parker from Fox News, fitness expert and company founder of Lean Body Fitness Boot Camp. And he's helped thousands of people transform their bodies. He's certified hundreds of personal trainers. And Nick has appeared on television for his fitness and weight loss expertise over 100 times and counting. As a public speaker for hungry children, as a fitness guru, he's been featured on many fitness-related blogs across the web, doing interviews and sharing his expert advice. Nick is absolutely awesome. When you get to listen to this guy talk about how easy it is for us to get back in shape and feel great as on-the-go moms, on-the-go women, all of it, you are really going to get excited and he's going to get you motivated. He's extremely passionate about helping people transform their bodies and their lives. Nick, how are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate that very kind introduction.
It's a treat to have you, Nick. We've all just gone back to school and the kids are off, and it's time to get back in the gym. And how do we really re-energize ourselves to get that extra 5 or 10 or 20 pounds off?
That is an awesome question. That's something that I get quite often. Right now, the kids are back to school. Your schedule has just changed from summer mode to back to school mode. So everything looks a little different. So we're going to talk about 8 different ways today. But the first thing I would say, actually the most important thing, is let's talk about your schedule first and penciling time for you. As a busy mom, as a busy woman that's working, whatever it is that you have going on in your life, you're busy, and a lot of times you tend to take the back seat in life. Everybody else gets served first, whether it be making dinner or scheduling time for the kids or working or going to the grocery store, and fitness and taking care of your own personal health seems to be way down the list for a lot of women. And so I want to challenge you to start out by penciling time for you and not break your appointments. So we're going to talk later about how to do that. And let's talk a little bit about excuses. So what are some excuses that you may be struggling with right now? What do you think actually would be some excuses that are out there probably right now for those that are listening?
Well, I can speak for myself. I know that some of my personal excuses are if the gym over the summer, starting a new schedule. Like you said, scheduling that time in, making a plan of action, and just following through with that plan of action. Just getting there, for me, seems to be the hardest thing. Showing up.
Yeah, it's been said that the hardest part about working out is the 10-minute drive to the gym. There's a lot of things to that. I think you're right. And there's something that I was on TV not long ago, and I talked about this, and I want to touch base on this, is that there is a lot of really legit reasons on why we can't work out, but a lot of times, and I almost want to say as high as 90% of the time, the reason that we're not exercising or not working out and not taking care of our health is an excuse that is just a mask for the deeper root or the real reason that you're not wanting to do it. And let me give you an example of this. Let's say time is an issue, and you're saying that time is an issue and you just don't have the time. Well, if you sit down and really look at your schedule, what you're doing is prioritizing something else or many other things as way higher than your own personal health, than fitness. You know, maybe it's sleep. You could get up a half an hour earlier just to run in the mornings or something like that. But a lot of times, the excuse is nothing more than a mask. So what we need to do is have a moment where you sit down and have a meeting with yourself and think about, okay, is time really the issue here? And why am I really not exercising? Why am I really not making it to the gym? And stop looking at the excuse as, you know, a way to cop out of doing it, and start figuring out solutions and ways that you can start moving forward in your exercise program and getting healthy and taking care of yourself. There's a lot of really great books that I've read recently on excuses. And I want to tell you what my coach in a long time ago used to tell us when I was playing ball. He said excuses are like belly buttons. Everybody has one, except you didn't use belly buttons. You can use your imagination. Nobody used to tell us. The first thing I would say actually is getting rid of the excuses and start looking for solutions on ways to really make it happen. If I said, hey, I'll give you $1 million if you can work out 3 times this week, I guarantee you'd figure it out.
So working out for most people is about losing weight. I mean, I know for me, it's about, gosh, I want to get off the 5 pounds. I know secondary, it may be people work out because they want to increase their cardiovascular and have a healthy heart, or they want to increase muscle mass, whatever it may be. Do you ever get a lot of clients that say, hey, I feel like I'm too old to make a difference in my workouts? Like, my workouts aren't working for me anymore, and at this age, you know, all I can do is just kind of live with what I have. What would you say? What would you say to them?
That's a great one. Actually, I would say a week doesn't go by that I don't hear something like that via email, where somebody has reached out to me and said, hey, you know, I've been doing this for years, or whatever it is that they've been doing for exercise or nutrition or whatever, and I haven't seen results in forever. And the reason is because I'm in my, and then they say their age, or I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s, I'm in my 60s.
Is that really a big factor, being in your 40s or 50s? Or,
well, let's put it this way.
How do we think about that?
Yeah, let me give you some good tips for that. The first thing you got to understand is, yes, there is some uphill battles you need to climb, because after the age of 25, your metabolism slows down. I know you don't want to hear this, but don't worry, I'll give you a solution. Slows down by 2% every single year after that. So you have between the age of 25 and 50, you have a pretty significant decline in your resting metabolism. But that can be reversed. And I've seen women who have come to me who have all kinds of issues, whether it be unbalanced hormones and their thyroid and metabolism slow, through nutrition and proper exercise, changing what you're doing now and doing something that's a lot more efficient, we can talk about that today, is going to really shoot you into a place where you're going to shock your body and be able to overcome that kind of plateau. So there is hope.
Ooh.
I don't want anyone out there to think that there is never hope. It's too late. It's impossible to change your body, because it's never too late, and it's never impossible, and there's always a way to get it done. There's
always a way to get it done, and that's a big topic of discussion. Your hormones, your thyroid gland, 40s, 50s. So what you're saying is the root is find ways to increase your metabolism and nutrition. How do you increase your metabolism?
Well, that's a great one. The first thing that you want to do is, and a lot of women neglect this, is lift weights. If you ever go to a big box gym, well, let me put it this way. If you ever go to a big box gym and you see, where are all the women typically hanging out for the most part? They're on the cardio machines and they're in the group fitness classes, right?
True.
So they're neglecting the weights. What I recommend is lifting weights. It's not going to make you bulky. It's not going to make you look like Tarzan or anything
a boy.
like that. Yeah, you need to lift weights to increase what is called your BMR. That stands for basal metabolic rate. This is your baseline metabolism. So, for example, if you were laying in bed, not doing any activity for the entire day, and you have a monitor on that says how many calories you burned that day, that's your BMR. you can actually reverse the aging process of metabolism reduction and increase your baseline metabolism by lifting weights and putting on just a little bit of lean muscle tissue over time. So lifting weights is huge. Not only that, lifting weights helps. There was a study that came out recently that shows that people that lift weights do a much better job and are much more efficient at utilizing carbohydrates for energy and burning sugar as muscle sugar versus those that don't. So, I'm sure you understand everybody likes to have a little sugar once in a while, and nobody can completely neglect carbs for the rest of their life. So if you want to be able to have a little bit of sugar and eat carbs at all, then lifting weights is absolutely essential. Not to mention lifting weights will make you stronger, you'll feel better, it'll increase your posture, and so many other things. So lifting weights is where you want to start.
You know what I find interesting is the Okinawans who live to be 120 and dance on the beach. They eat everything they grow. They till the land. One of the main points that about the Okinawans, not only that they celebrate the old and there's a emotional excitement about looking forward to getting older, is that they bear weight. Every day, these people bear weight. They bear weight whether they're carrying the rice or they're, gardening or they're climbing uphill, whatever it is. They attribute part of their vitality to weight-bearing exercises, and the whole philosophy is that we are meant to bear weight, that the body is meant to be in a state of strength.
Absolutely. I agree. I mean, these people live longer than anybody, so start carrying around as much as you can. I would say there's 5 moves that you really need to be doing, because like you said, bearing weight is key. And you can't just go to the gym and sit down on a machine and do a couple reps and expect to get any results from that.
Darn.
Let me give you 5 quick moves that I think everybody should be doing. Number 1 is squats. Number 2 is lunges. Number 3 is push-ups. Number 4 is rows or bodyweight rows. And number 5 is planks. Every single one of those uses your body weight. And bodyweight exercises have taken the fitness industry by storm lately because of the immense amount of benefits that come with them. Because you're lifting your own body weight, it's safe, it burns more calories, and like you said, it creates longevity and you can live longer. So start doing these 5 exercises at a minimum, but it's important to load the squat, load the lunges, load those push-ups, and get down on the floor and do some, and rows and planks. And that will really help you. And that's really become huge. And that's what creates longevity and increased metabolism.
Those are some key 5 exercises. And anybody can do those anywhere. You can grab soup cans and start doing squats.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're traveling, you're in a hotel room, you're at home in your living room, or what's really popular right now is to do exercises like this right before you eat. Because what happens is, you start depleting your glycogen, you increase your metabolism immediately, and so what you're about to eat will be utilized as energy instead of stored as body fat. So if you did like 20 lunges, 20 squats, and 20 push-ups, and then had your meal, you would be much more efficient at burning that meal versus, just storing it as fat if your glycogen source or your muscle sugar is already full. So yeah, they're incredibly effective.
I like your website, Nick. Kelly Ripa is on there, and I always think she's just naturally skinny and fit, and probably she doesn't, born that way, genetic, whatever. But she actually says, depending on the course of my day, I'll work out 45 minutes to an hour and a half every day. It has become a very important part of my life. Kelly Ripa. Incidentally, listeners, if you want to log on to Nick's website, it's nickparkerfitness.com, nickparkerfitness.com. And it's a huge resource of, you can watch him on TV, videos, and get tips and all kinds of fun stuff. But, in her view, it's how to beat the clock. How you beat the aging clock.
Yeah, that's just it. And, we did a Kelly Ripa workout not that long ago, and I did a lot of research and actually talked to some celebrity trainers that have worked with her, and she does an amazing amount of working out, you know, in the time that she's allotted. She's one of the busiest moms there is that I can possibly think of. But she puts it, as I was talking earlier, as a very high priority. So no matter what, Kelly Ripa will find time throughout her day, schedule it, pencil it in, and make sure she gets her workout in. And she does do resistance training. She does, you know, bar classes, which is real popular, like this ballet workout. She does yoga, Pilates. But a lot of the workouts that she does incorporates resistance training with weights. And that's why she is toned, lean and fit, and she keeps, you know, she doesn't have to eat 100% perfect anymore because her body has become a fat burning machine because she's so used to lifting weights that her body has become incredibly efficient at utilizing food as energy, which is fantastic.
How do we make our bodies fat burning machines? Like in a course of a week, if we were going to say, okay, for the next 5 days, I'm going to train. How do you incorporate cardio with weights, or do you do just all weights? How does somebody figure that out?
That's a great question. Well, you want to have, you can think of it as spokes on a wheel. You want to have different things, you know, in your fitness program. A lot of it also has to do with nutrition, so we can talk about that separately. But first of all, you need to schedule weight training 3 days a week. If you can resistance train 3 days a week, and then you add cardio, and not all cardio is created equal. And what I'm about to tell you may shock you. There is evidence and research done in studies at universities back in the late 90s. There was a study that came out at Laval University in Canada that showed participants in the study that burned 9 times more body fat by doing less cardio using a certain principle called burst training or HIIT training, which is high-intensity interval training. So they paired them up. They had 2 groups. They had one group that was doing 45 minutes to an hour of low-intensity cardio, like walking or slow jogging. And then they had another group that would do sprints or interval-type training for 10 minutes, 15 minutes per workout. The group that did the 10 to 15 minutes of high-intensity interval training and burst training burned 9 times more fat than the other group that did 45 minutes to an hour of workout. So the cardio that you do needs to be efficient. You don't want to just go out there and walk or jog for an hour. You want to be purposeful in doing intervals where you get your heart rate up to 90% of your maximum heart rate and really focus on getting it back down and while you're resting, and then get it right back up and repeat that cycle. If you can imagine, it's like doing a bench press for your heart and your lungs. You're doing sets, you're doing reps. So you're doing one set is a sprint, another set is a sprint, and your heart's going up and then it's coming down. It's going up and then it's coming down. There's a hormone benefit to this that shows that you can burn more fat up to 36 hours after you have completed the workout. So wow. Yeah, it's true. You may burn a few more calories during the actual hour workout, but over the next 36 hours, the HIIT training, you burn 9 times more fat up to 36 hours, whereas the other workout stops within an hour.
Amazing.
It is amazing. I know it's hard to swallow that. Most people get, you know, just beside themselves thinking, I can do 20 minutes of cardio versus an hour and get 9 times the results. And the answer is yes, you can.
And would you do the actual weight training with the cardio? In other words, the 3 days a week that one would train weights, load-bearing exercises, would you then after do the cardio, or do the cardio before, or the other 2 days, then those are the days you do the cardio?
You know, there's 3 ways to do it, and I'll give you the best way. And I'll tell you all 3 ways, and you can choose because your schedule may permit one versus the other. The first way is to do cardio first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and then resistance or do weight training later on in the day. That is not always feasible for everybody. It's a very effective way to increase your metabolism first thing in the morning and get going, so that way you're burning fat all day long. The second way is to resistance train first, and immediately, right after you do that, you've depleted all those carbohydrates and sugar out of the muscle. You go straight to cardio, and you're in fat-burning mode during your cardio session right after your resistance training. The third way, which has proven incredibly effective to become anabolic and aerobic, which means you're burning a ton of fat, is to incorporate the cardio HIIT training intervals into your resistance training workout. So, for example, you do a set of squats for 20 reps and then you do a sprint right after that, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting an increase in metabolism, and you're boosting all those phenomenal fat-burning hormones that just incinerate body fat.
Ooh, incinerate body fat. I like that.
It does. It works like a champ. It's amazing how efficient and effective that really is.
Let's talk about diet for a while.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about sugar. Do you want to talk about sugar for a little bit?
I like sugar. No. Yes, let's do it. Go ahead.
I like sugar too. If there's any weakness that I would ever have, it would definitely be the sweet tooth. You know, some people love the salt, some people love the sweet. I've got the sweet tooth. That's for sure. But I can tell you this: public enemy number one is absolutely, without a doubt, sugar. You know, back in the 80s, it was watch your fat, don't eat saturated fat, don't eat any fat at all. Well, new research shows that sugar is by far 10 times worse than eating fat. So when you're looking at your nutrition plan and you're looking at what you're eating on a daily basis, look to see on the labels how much sugar you're actually taking in on a daily basis. You know, I don't remember the exact number, but there was a case study on TV not that long ago that we did that showed the average American was consuming like 10 times the amount of sugar that they were supposed to be consuming, and that's why our nation is obese. It's the sugar that we're consuming. So one of the number one things you want to do is eliminate all sugar from your diet in order to lose body fat, and here's why. The number one reason is when you eat sugar, you know what happens internally with your hormones is there's a hormone called insulin, and insulin is spiked. And when your insulin is spiked, you become the exact opposite of fat-burning mode. You can go into fat-storing mode. The second reason is when you're eating sugar all day, your muscles act as storage units, and those storage units become very, very full. Once they're full, they can't absorb any more sugar or carbohydrates. Then they get stored in the liver. Once they're stored in the liver, then they get stored in body fat. So a lot of people today have oversaturated muscle sugar. It's in the liver, and it has nowhere else to go except to be stored as body fat. And so eliminating sugar will start to deplete a lot of that, so you can get into the fat stores and start tapping into that body fat.
Well, this is interesting. I just looked up. So for the Center for Science and Public Interest, they put together dozens of leading experts with the FDA to decide what the maximum recommended daily intake for sugar would be, and it's only 40 grams. And it just dawned on me that is 2 of my son's juice boxes. That's not a lot of room to wiggle.
Yeah, there's not. I know. And you know, with back to school, you know what happens is you're looking for juice, you're looking for snacks for school, you're looking for snacks for after school, and you open your pantry and it is loaded with stuff for back to school, you know, and it's loaded with sugar. And sometimes we become tempted by that. You know, it's quick, it's easy, and so many of the snacks in the grocery store that are in the aisles in the center of the grocery store is loaded with sugar. But yeah, 40 grams is not a lot. You can get there and drinking a Coke or two, and there you are.
It's only 10 teaspoons of sugar.
Yep.
And then and that would be how the average grams of sugar that's appropriate per day for the average adult, without them going off the disease Richter, headed toward the fat Richter, headed toward, you know. So if we did nothing else but just tried to only do 40 grams of sugar a day,
you're gonna lose weight.
You're gonna be a rock star.
Yeah, you're gonna be a rock star. You're gonna look amazing. Absolutely.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. And you know what? Sugar is sneaky, and I'll tell you why. It's in a lot of things we don't think that it's in. It's in even meat. I mean, we don't think about it. It's in the sauces that we eat. It's in the dressings. It's in a lot more food that we eat. But here's where it's really sneaky. Let's say you're eating an Asian dinner and you have some white rice. That white rice is transferred into muscle sugar or, glucose faster than any other food pretty much. It's like basically like eating a candy bar, white rice.
There's
a lot of foods that are like that.
Yeah, it is. It's very sneaky. The U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Center for Disease Control say that overeating sugar, that too much sugar, what it does to your brain, that it increases poor memory, learning disorders, depression, and that it's been linked to research that the overconsumption of sugar is the linkage points to many of the problems that are chronic in our bodies.
Absolutely.
Boy, Nick, I didn't know all this.
Like I said, it is public enemy number one, sugar is. And it's true because when you have this roller coaster going on inside your body and physiologically your energy level is completely unstable, your brain cannot function well. You can't think straight. You can think straight for a few minutes, and next thing you know, you're tired and you're crashing, and you constantly, it's almost like a drug, and you're looking for that next high.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting fact. Your taste buds recreate themselves every 7 days. So what happens is if you're eating a lot of sugar on a regular basis, or even a good moderate amount of sugar on a regular basis, you will crave it more so. And it gets harder and harder to get away from it. So here's the thing. You get off of it for about 48 to 72 hours, and you'll start to notice that you are not craving sugar as you did a few days ago.
Wow. That's amazing.
I know. The hard part is getting to that 3-day part.
You know what's interesting is
you're okay, but getting there is difficult.
27 teaspoons of sugar is equivalent to 440 calories, which is 1/4 of a typical 2,000 calorie day diet.
Right, exactly. I mean,
that's 4 juice boxes.
Yeah, 4 juice boxes, and you're done for the day.
I can only eat. I'm a mom, so I'm thinking, what? Because you look at the juice box, you're like, wow, okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's healthy and nutritious. It's a juice, right?
But it also goes on to say it's the healthy sugars. If it's you're eating the actual whole fruit, or you're eating the whole vegetable, they have sugars, but it's not the added sugar. The added sugar is the beast. That's the one.
You know what the key is? It's not processed. That's the key.
That's the key.
The difference between a processed sugar and a natural sugar, being in fruit and things like that, is when you eat a fruit, that sugar is a lot more readily digestible and easier to use for your body to digest and use it as energy. But when you're taking in a processed sugar, the processed chemicals in the food or the drink that you're taking in are treated in your body as toxins. And it's the highest priority in the digestive system's job is to deal with the toxins first. So then the sugar and the other additional fat and calories take a back seat while it's dealing with the toxins, and many times get stored as fat. That's the problem.
How do you feel about stevia?
Stevia is actually a good alternative. Stevia is very natural. It's a lot better than Splenda or any of these other artificial sweeteners for sure. Stevia, it has a little bit more of a bitter taste to it than it does a sweet taste, so you have to, and it's very potent, it's concentrated, so you don't use a whole lot, but it does sweeten up your coffee or anything else, and it's natural, and it's by far the fitness choice across the industry. Most professionals are using stevia in their diets. And
if you were going to use honey over guava, what's it called? Agave or maple syrup, real maple syrup, what would you pick?
I don't want to lose my maple syrup. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I would say definitely use the honey. Once in a while, I'll give you an example. I love, sweet and carbs. So when I've been training really hard for a while, I'll do like a whole grain, 9-grain waffle, and I'll put a little bit of honey on there, and it's phenomenal, and it's something that is way more natural and will be easily used in the body and gives you a little bit of energy, and it tastes really great. So that's definitely a good idea. Okay, so enemy number 1, not making the time for ourselves. Enemy number 2 is what we put in our mouth, and that's the added sugar. Yeah, absolutely. What's enemy 3? Well, I would say, building accountability into your life. And here's one of the things that I have found, and, owning a business where we train hundreds and hundreds of people every year, you see that accountability is a huge part. I don't care how great a shape you're in. I don't care how long you've been doing this. There's very few people in the world, a small percentage in the world, who are exercise addicts and fiends and have enough discipline to make it to the gym all year long and work out and take care of that. Most people at some point throughout the year become inconsistent or completely fall off. So one of the things that you're going to want to do is build in some form of accountability to make sure that you are partnering up with a friend or a family member or something like that. You can sign up for a race, like an adventure race or a 5K or a triathlon, so that way you know by this date I've got to do this or I'm going to die. So you have to train. You can hire a personal trainer, which is a great option because then you're accountable to that trainer. You can join boot camp because then you're accountable to everyone in your camp, or you're accountable to the trainer themselves. So there's a lot of different ways that you can build an accountability. You can make a friendly wager with someone at the office or things like that, but accountability is huge. Don't underestimate how important that is in your program, because if you're not accountable, it's going to get too easy when you're tired, when you're stressed out, when you run out of time at the end of the day, or things get a little easier, not to work out, not to eat right, and start taking the easy road.
So what are some other ways to work out for people that don't have a gym membership? I know one of the ways you said, do the 5, do the squats, do 20 squats, 20 push-ups, 20 planks, and I already forgot the other 2.
Yeah, that's okay. The other ones were rows and planks.
Rows and planks.
There's a lot of ways to work out if you don't have a gym membership. We do a segment on
and lunges
that focuses specifically on how to work out with your body weight and things like that. So one of the great things to do is you can get some really inexpensive things at home to work out with. Some great ideas are bands, work really well. Dumbbells are a must-have. If you don't have a set of dumbbells at home, definitely get some if you don't have a gym membership. Females will typically use between 5 and 15-pound dumbbells, somewhere in there for most exercises, not all, but most. Kettlebells are becoming increasingly popular, and they are a lot of fun. They're a momentum-based movement type training where you're using a lot of core through every exercise in the kettlebell, and they're inexpensive, and you can do that anywhere in your home. TRX trainers, those are suspension trainers that you can just hang right in your door frame, any door frame in your house. Do rows and push-ups and suspended planks, and you can do over 100 exercises on a TRX suspension cable. Those are great. Let me give you what not to buy. A lot of people will buy a lot of these gadgets like these ab machines and these gimmicks that they see on infomercials that don't work, and those will definitely be a clothes rack in no time. So be careful on buying the things that overpromise and don't really allow you to do full body exercises. If they just isolate your abs, or they only move in one direction or something like that, because those gimmicks typically don't work that well.
How do you feel about the elliptical?
I like the elliptical. I think that it's a good supplement. I think that it's a good tool on a consistent basis, but I don't think it should be your only source of cardio unless you have a bad back and bad knees. Then it's a great option for you. So if anyone's out there listening, if you have a really bad back or bad knees or joint issues, then it's really low impact, and it's a great way to get your cardio in.
Nick,
in addition to swimming.
Did you know they just came out? Well, I don't know if they just came out with it, but I just saw one. The elliptical bike.
I have not seen that yet. What does that look like? Visualize it.
It's quite interesting. It's literally an elliptical machine on wheels, and it has bike handles, and I was at the beach and I saw this lady
you actually
go right by me on an elliptical bike. I thought, my gosh, that's genius. You're outside sweating, you're on the elliptical. She was smiling. I don't know if she
was smiling. That would be something I would fall off.
It was an elliptical bike. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is interesting. I like the idea of the elliptical. Hands down, running is going to be your first pick if you can do it. Nothing works better, and it's been proven, nothing works better than running and sprinting. But like I said, if you've got issues and your body's just not able to do it, that's fine. Swimming and biking and elliptical, those are other great ways that you can get cardio in without all the impact on your joints.
Now, why is running superior to other cardio?
Well, it's a move that is different than everything else, because think about where your feet are when you're on an elliptical, when you're on a bike. They are stationary. They're connected to the machine and they're moving with the machine, whereas running, you're generating more force and using more energy because your feet are actually leaving the ground. So therefore, it does burn more calories. It's an exercise that requires more of your total body. It requires more balance. It recruits more of your core because you're having to swing your arms contralateral to the way your legs are moving. So it has been proven that running is definitely a lot better for burning more calories and fat and getting you in shape quicker than most other cardio exercises.
And how much running equals the 40 grams of sugar?
That is a great question. It depends. There's actually a really cool tool called the Body Bug that if you wear it on your arm will tell you exactly how many calories you're burning. It's got like 4 sensors in it. It tells you how many calories you're burning per an hour and or per a minute. And I know that when I wore one temporarily for a little while, I was doing some high-intensity cardio and I was competing to, see who could burn the most calories per minute. And I think I got up to maybe 10 calories a minute or something like that at one point when I was doing sprints or something like that. So it can be, most of the time, you're going to burn about 200 calories an hour. On low-intensity exercise, you can burn up to 500 to 700 calories an hour on high-intensity exercise. So you can definitely burn through that 40 grams of sugar with no problem.
But so what it does for your body, I guess running, it tones the arms, it tones the abs, the legs, the buttocks. I don't know how you refer to the buttocks on radio, but gluteus minimus maximus.
You want a minimum.
So I would imagine it starts to tone could tone everything.
It does. It's you know what it is? It's a closed chain exercise that is different than an open chain exercise. So not to get too technical, but you're using all your sling systems, whereas other cardio you're not. So yeah, you are toning all the different sling systems. So everything from head to toe, your shoulders, your chest, your back, your arms, your legs, your glutes. It's just a much better way to do cardio. Sprints are even 10 times more. Here's a great example. We just had the Olympics, okay? Look at the Olympic female sprinters. How amazing was it to watch them and to see what kind of shape they're in? Almost every single Olympic sprinter had what? They had abs and they had a lot of muscle.
They look bionic. They don't look like real people.
They look like machines, don't they?
They look like human stealth bionic girls.
They do. They look fake. It's amazing how chiseled they are and ripped, and they look amazing, and it's because of the sprints that they do. And that's just a case in point of how effective sprinting is for burning fat and getting abs and toned muscles. Wow.
So if one wanted to start running, the best way to start running, if you haven't ran, is to just walk out your door. And then
it is.
Just walk out your door further, right? The next time.
Right.
And
exactly. Please don't sprint. Please don't do that. You will definitely not, you will be hating me the next day. Make sure you don't sprint right away. What you want to do is work up to it. It's a slow process. You're going to start out with a walk, and you're going to work into a jog, and you're going to slowly increase those jogs into intervals where you're going to jog and then run faster and then slow down and run faster until you can work yourself up to the sprint. This is not for everyone right off the bat, but you can get there.
I have to tell you something funny. I just got a golden doodle puppy. Well, okay. She's doubling in size every month. And so I've been walking her, and it's getting me back into the groove of getting outside and walking. And because she's doubling in size and speed and strength, one of the neighbors, so now I'm up to if I were 80 or 90, that jog, that really slow jog, so I don't look like she's pulling me walking. Right. And I've been doing it for about 2 months, and now I'm at now I'm at probably what my age is jog. I'm not at a run, But by holding that leash and, trying to, forbear the idea of embarrassment, like my neighbor saying, "Oh, I saw your dog walking you," I have to hold my abs in and, try to stand upright and, keep the jog. But I thought to myself, gosh, this dog's going to keep getting bigger. If I just keep walking out the door with her, I could actually run one day. I know it sounds silly, but it's...
How big is this dog?
Well, she's now 55 pounds.
Maybe you could just ride the dog.
She's my miniature horse, and she's...
Yeah.
Very cool dogs, by the way. Just side note, if anybody's looking for a dog, golden doodles are very cool, sweet animals. Anyway. So yeah, very smart. She knows to run me. Yeah. I used to make fun of people, kind of. Not really, because I don't make fun of people. Yeah. But I used to say, "Oh, look, the dog's walking the person." And now my dog, literally, she runs me. And if I don't take it up a notch, I'm going to be face flat because
that dog's showing you who's boss.
She's showing me who's boss. And at the same time, every day, we go maybe 50 feet farther. And so, little by little, and I mean really little by little, we're doing more and more, but it gets me excited that I'm doing something that helps me do a little more every day. And it seems like the more you get into working out, the more you really get passionate and excited and start to feel and see your goals. And, you got to hang in there.
That is so true. You know what excites most people more than anything is seeing the first little bit of results. The first 2 weeks, it's soreness, and you're trying to get over the hump a little bit. You're trying to work through what would be the uncomfortable zone of changing your schedule, adapting a new lifestyle. And so the first few weeks is very difficult, but I can tell you this from experience. When you look in the mirror or jump on the scale or try a pair of jeans on that you haven't worn in a while, and they're loose, or you see the scale moving down and you feel great, that is so exciting and motivating. It drives you to keep going. And so
it's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. If you really want to focus on, okay, every 30 days, part of being accountable is I'm going to reevaluate how I'm doing, whether it's checking your clothes or inches or weight or whatever it is. You need some sort of system to do that. But that is very exciting, and that will shoot you into action and get you highly motivated. I know that there's nothing greater for me than seeing results when I'm working hard.
You're like the Dr. Oz of boot camp,
What's that?
I said you're like the Dr. Oz of boot camp, because it seems like you have all of these tips and things that get us excited and motivated and really going. When I was looking at your website, nickparkerfitness.com, I noticed you have a clip from Channel 35 about buddy workouts, and it's called Core War. Tell me what that means.
That is a lot of fun. That was a live segment that we did with a live audience, and we had 2 members of the audience come up and do what's called Core War. And it's, there's nothing better than working out with a friend or a partner because it's so much more fun. There's camaraderie there. But Core War is actually a fun game to play with a partner where you stand about 6 to 8 inches away from each other. It's like you're playing patty cake, so you put your hands up against each other and you push as hard as you can. The first person that steps back loses, and during that, depending on how long you last, you will feel your abs and your core firing like never before when you're pushing against each other. So make sure you're pairing up with someone who's similar weight to you and similar strength, because otherwise you're going to get blown away and do a back somersault. It's a lot of fun to do buddy exercises to partner up like that.
Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good one. We had fun doing that. So
Core War, Funky Boot Camp. So tell us about your company. Tell us about what you do. You're located right in beautiful Lake Mary.
Yeah, we have locations in Lake Mary, Longwood, and Oviedo, and we're currently looking to expand from that. We are an indoor fitness boot camp. Primarily women are our clientele. We're probably about 90% female. A lot of moms. And we focus on weight loss and toning muscles by using all the principles that we've discovered over the last 16 years and putting them into action. So, you have that built-in accountability when you're coming to work out with us. You come in and there's 20 other women just like yourself who have similar goals that want to come in and work out and play high-energy music, and the trainers are fantastic, and they're pushing you to your limit without going overboard. And it's a tough workout. We integrate a lot of cardio into the workouts among resistance training and core exercises, and it's a lot of fun. We've had clients lose anywhere from, the quick 10 pounds, obviously, in the 7 to 14-day period, all the way up to 120 pounds, which is like a Biggest Loser scenario.
Wow.
And so it's been really incredible, and we've gotten amazing results with our system. The system we use, we have a meal plan that everybody follows, and we do unlimited coaching.
So you do incorporate food. A lot of trainers, Nick, don't incorporate nutrition into working out. You go in and you train with them, but they don't give you what to eat. And what to eat you have to do both to get equal.
It's at least 70% of the battle, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we make sure that we're not just going to work hard and get the results. In order to get results, we give them a meal plan system to follow and videos that are included in that. Plus, we give them at-home workout videos to work out on the days that they're not here at boot camp, if they miss a day or they travel or the weekends. So they are really plugged into not just going to boot camp, but it's a workout system and program that teaches you lifestyle habits and changes. And it's phenomenal. And we've had an amazing amount of success. 3 times this year we've been on waiting lists where people have been knocking down the door to get in, and we have not had the space to get them in. So it's definitely working, and I'm so blessed to have an opportunity to change so many people's lives. And, it's what I'm passionate about, and it's such an opportunity to reach people and help them, and I'm thankful for that.
So you literally can, you help people get rid of the excuses, make the appointments, get into the gym, work out, and you do a strategic workout that literally melts the body fat off, increases your muscle, gets your cardio, helps women. So literally exercise can help you balance your hormones, really?
Yeah, absolutely it can. There's been so many women who come in, especially in their 40s, that have hormones where they're a little bit more unstable, and they start stabilizing because the workouts that we're doing directly affect the hormones in your body. So we've had people who have stabilized, and I had a client email me the other day, just a couple of paragraphs, just so excited. I can almost imagine she was in tears, saying, I've been trying for years to lose weight, have never been able to do it, and finally for the first time I'm down 10 pounds ever. And the doctor said it was impossible, and she's been going to different doctors, and so it's been proven to be very effective internally as well as externally, what we're doing here. And we have a no one left behind attitude to where no matter what you're going through in your life or where you're at or where you've been, we're going to make sure that you're successful, and we'll bend over backwards to make sure that happens. So
very exciting.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I'm very busy, but it's a lot of fun, and it's incredibly rewarding. So I love what I do, and it's easy to wake up in the morning, early in the morning, and be passionate about what you're doing to look forward to the day ahead.
NickParkerFitness.com. And what days of the week can one join your studio or join in with the Nick Partner Fitness craze?
We have boot camps 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, depending on which location you're going to. We also have charity boot camps that we do, sometimes on Saturdays. You can call and find out about those. Those are typically we have people bring canned goods or Goodwill clothing or something like that. We'll do a community boot camp because one of my goals is to help Central Florida reduce its obesity rates. And so we'll do charity camps once in a while, things like that. And then soon, later in the year, we have an online boot camp type style fitness program for women that will be able to do anywhere in the world. So if you're in China or London or wherever you are, you'll be able to do boot camp with us through this online system that we're going to be launching later in the year.
Oh, I like that. Boot camp distributed.
It's great. Yeah, it's going to be really good. So a lot of people have been asking. We've had a lot of emails from overseas, especially coming from like the Australia area. People are watching our videos and want to do our workouts and boot camp. So out of demand, we're creating this product that is going to be very useful and helpful for people than more than just our local area.
I love this. Don't be upset by the results you didn't get with the workout you didn't do.
I love that quote. That's on my blog. Oh, that's a good quote. Don't be upset by the results you didn't get by the workout you didn't do. How true is that?
So, moms, women, children, we all have to, if we're going and we're doing it, but we're not getting the results we want, I think this is definitely something, to take a peek into, check it out. And if you're not working out and don't be upset by the results you didn't get with the workout you didn't do. I like that. But you know what? It's all about getting started. And so we just decide. And it's amazing with anything in life. Once you commit to a thought, once you commit to it, it's done. You're already propelling forward and halfway there. So it's exciting, Nick. I'm so glad that we got the opportunity to have you on the show today and talk to you. And thank you so much for all the information and everything. Now, do you have a phone number that one can call, or is that the only way to reach you?
If they want to call in, they can call 877 number, which is on our website, or they can call actually 407-803-6360. That's our local number. So it's 407-803-6360. But I wanted to share a couple quick tips right before we close on just how to get going. And it's real quick and simple. Is go out and buy some new workout clothes and shoes. That alone will get you excited. Put a really good playlist on your iPod. That alone will give you incentive to want to listen to your playlist and go exercise. Start reading your favorite fitness websites or blogs. Write down your goals and why it's important for you to achieve those goals, and then post it somewhere you can see it. Get the support of your family and friends. Get them involved. Get them supporting you and pushing you. Sign up for a fitness program or a 5K, or today, right now, right this minute, do a 15-minute run or do a 15-minute workout right there at home just to kickstart it off and to start moving forward.
Oh, I love it. Nick, you are the best. Any other closing words, motivational things that you could share with our listeners?
Yes, I'll tell you, like my coach told me, excuses are like belly buttons. Everybody has one, except he didn't say belly buttons. So I challenge you to get off your butt, get off the couch, and start moving and start creating a better lifestyle to be the best version of yourself. I know that if you're listening, that you are awesome and you're beautiful inside and you're beautiful outside, and I know that you want to start grabbing life by the horns and taking control, and I know you can do it. All you got to do is start moving, and you'll get there, one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. And one day you'll look back and think that was the best decision I've ever made.
Oh, I love it. Nick Parker, nickparkerfitness.com. This is Ashley Kay to brighten your day. Follow us on The Ashley Coley Show on Facebook. And remember, in life, you don't have to go fast. You just got to go forward. Until next time.